and welcome back to my channel to all of my returning subscribers. Welcome to any new subscribers. Hi, my name is Mackenzie. Some people call me MJ. Every Starbucks barista at the Starbucks I go to calls me MJ. I don't make them try to spell my name. I know some of you guys are probably here since you saw my ukulele version of Me by Taylor Swift featuring Brendan Urie, which, side note, I have to say I was shook when I saw that Brendan was featured on this track the other day. I just, wow, my 16-year-old self was just quaking. Taylor and Brendan created so much of the music that was so impactful to me as a musician in those formative years, my teen years of just finding who I was, learning to play guitar, which is my first instrument. I only just picked up the uke a few years ago. Fearless still remains to be one of my favorite albums of all time. Pretty Odd was what I had on repeat all summer of 2008, and I know that record through and through. Both of those records were just huge for me. Also, Brendan Urie was like my first huge crush. I just was obsessed. I envisioned myself totally settling down with him one day and like starting a family and all that stuff, and I also realized I just totally had a thing for guyliner when I saw Brendan Urie for the first time. I'm just going far off track. Anyway, I was just really excited about it, and I knew I wanted to put my own spin on it. I also totally had this planned ever since Taylor started teasing it. I'm like, I know what I'm going to be doing Friday the 26th of April. Anyway, I was perusing the comments for the first couple of days. I liked as many as I could, replied to a bunch of them, and I was just overwhelmed by all the positivity. Y'all Swifties are just so cute and sweet and crazy. So as I was going through these comments, I started noticing that so many people were requesting the chords to the song. So I did reply to a couple of the comments, and I was like, oh yeah, here are the chords. But then I kept scrolling and there were more requests for chords and for a video tutorial, and I realized maybe I should give the people what they want. So that is why today I'm going to be teaching you how to play my version of Me. Thank you to Alvarez Guitars for partnering with me to bring you today's video. I am actually playing an Alvarez tenor ukulele. It's their AU90T. I get a lot of questions as to what ukulele I'm playing whenever I bring this out for a video, and that is your answer. So I will link that below where you can find this particular ukulele. But without further ado, let's get into this tutorial. So I'm going to be treating this tutorial as a total beginners, learners thing. What? So if you already know these chords on the ukulele, feel free to just fast forward ahead to the more stylistic portion. But for those of you who are new, I figured this would be such a perfect beginner song. It's so playable, and that's because they're very simple chords that every ukulele player should know. And they also repeat themselves continually throughout the entire song. Getting into it, the first thing you want to do, obviously, is tune up your ukulele. My trusty Snark is what I always have. If you don't have this, you can just download an app, it'll do it. So we're going to be playing in standard tuning today, which from top to bottom here is G, C, E, and A. So just make sure that it's in tune. This particular uke really does stay in tune quite nicely. So once you've got that down, then you are ready to start playing. This entire song, you are playing 4 chords. In order, they are C, A minor, F, and G. Given that this is a total beginner's ukulele tutorial, I'm going to show you the structure of each of these and where your fingers should be placed. The way I learned to play guitar, when I would count these strings, I would count up from the bottom, referring to the first one at the bottom as string 1, this one is 2, this one is 3, and this one is 4. So with that in mind, whenever I refer to number 1, just know that that's this lower string, this A. So a C chord is arguably the simplest chord here on the ukulele, along with the A minor chord as well. To play the C chord, we're going to go on this first string and the 1 to 3rd fret, and I usually use my ring finger to press this chord down, and you strum all 4 strings down to give you that C shape and that sound. It's very pleasant. It's very sweet. I started playing this in C and then I realized, oh yeah, this song is in C. So this is the original key that Taylor plays this in. Now, we're gonna switch. I probably am gonna look like I'm flipping you off, but don't take it personally. It's just the way my fingers are going today. So moving on to the A minor, another super simple chord with just one string being pressed down. And that would be the 4th string on the 2nd fret. I think the best finger to use would be your middle finger, because the next chord we're going to, you won't have to move that finger. So that is your A minor, and you just strum all 4 strings. And then the 3rd chord is the F, the 2nd string, 1st fret, and then keeping your middle finger right where it was with the A minor. So that way all you gotta do when you switch from C to A minor and then A minor to F is just take this pointer finger and put it right there. And it's just that easy. And then finally, we've got the G chord. So if you play ukulele and guitar, you will know that the shape of a G chord on ukulele is the exact same shape as a D chord on guitar. So, life hack, if you already play guitar and you know what the D looks like. You know what I mean. But if you don't, I'm going to show you. So you're going to place your middle finger on the 2nd fret, 1st string. And then you're going to take your ring finger and place that on the 3rd fret, 2nd string. And then your pointer finger on the 2nd fret, 3rd string. And then it should sound a little something like this. Okay, so that is your G. So I kind of think of it as like these 2 fingers straddling the 2nd string here, and then that ring finger coming in. And that's about it. So all together, they sound a little something like this. It's a really pleasant, again, playable song structure, and it's just nice. It's sweet. It does get a little hard aligning singing and playing with each other, so just to familiarize yourself with these chords, it might be useful to just strum. I know that I'm a handful, baby, I know I never think, look before I jump, and you're the kind of guy the ladies want. And then as you get more familiar and more comfortable, you can add the strumming in. But there is your structure right there. That's all you need to know in terms of chords. Super simple. I hope that was not confusing. I'm not a teacher by trade. Now moving on to how this song is really actually played, or how I chose to play it. So I changed it up from the original. So if I were to have played it like Taylor, in that sort of tempo, I would have played it a little bit more like this, which you can do as well, like a I know that I'm a handful, baby, I know I never think before I jump. You're the... Does she say think or look? I forget. There's a lot of cool chicks out there. But instead, I chose to take the more islandy route and kind of do a I know that I'm a handful, baby, I know I never think. I need to know if she says think or look. I'm being annoying. Okay, load now. Thank you. Think. Okay. I know I never think before I jump. So as I said, I took the more islandy approach. It's almost in the same vein of the like a ooh, you know, that Somewhere Over the Rainbow. So I can do my best to teach you how I do that strumming pattern. For me, I find it really hard to explain a strumming pattern. I've seen people try to teach them with ups and downs, like up, 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 down, 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 up, down. And for me, as a player, that always just like rattled my brain and confused the crap out of me. Because it's when you're seeing U, D, D, up, and I'm like, no, just play it. Maybe that is an ignorant thing to say, but for me, it's just like feel what is right, and it'll come to you. That's how I rule my musical life, is if it feels good, it is good. Coupled with a little bit of musical theory, the base level that I have an understanding of. So I can slow down the strum a little bit, or you can even slow down the speed of this video if you want to see how my hands move. Maybe if you're just learning, just stay on one chord until you get it right. kind of get a little faster with it as you get more comfortable. It's this really sweet little like head bobbing sort of vibe. So I do this sort of palm mute a little bit. It's sort of like I know, like I kind of stop the strings at one point. I hope that this makes sense. Again, I am no music teacher. I'm just doing my best to explain how I personally play this. With that in mind, we're going into the first verse, and it's gonna look a little bit like this. I start off a cappella with, I promise that nobody's gonna love you like me. C, I know that I'm a handful, baby, A minor. I know I never think before I F. Gosh. G, and there's a lot of cool chicks out there. And obviously I did a little quicker than this. And there's a lot of cool chicks out there. Then we're going into the pre-chorus, which I did a little something fun. And I did this kind of strumming on muted strings. Same strumming pattern, but I just muted the strings. So I'm not pressing any strings down except for when I do this quick sort of staccato of a C chord. So I go back to the C chord, just hit that C real quick. One of these things is not like the others, like a rainbow with all of the colors. Stay on that C. Comes to another, I promise that you'll never find another like. And that's where we stop. Before we go into the choruses, I just stop right there and let it go silent. I promise that you'll never find another like, and then we go into the chorus. So, playing along with me if you'd like. I know that I'm a handful, baby, I know I never think before I jump, and you're the kind of guy the ladies want, and there's a lot of cool chicks out there. I know that I went psycho on the phone, I never leave well enough alone. Trouble's gonna follow where I go. There's a lot of cool chicks out there. One of these things is not like the others, like a rainbow with all of the colors. Baby doll, when it comes to a lover, I promise that you'll never find another like. And there's your first verse and the pre-chorus. Feel free to go back, rewind, do what you need to. This is a little trick that might take a second for you to master. But again, just play around with it, feel it. Don't go U, D, D, up, down. It's confusing, and then you'll get all messed up and think too hard. Just feel it, don't think too hard. So going into the chorus, we're basically just going back over it all over again. Same strumming pattern, the same chords. I promise that you'll never find another like me. I'm the only one of me, and baby, that's the fun of me. You're the only one of you, and baby, that's the fun of you. And I promise that nobody's gonna love you like me. Something that I do right at the very end of that chorus is, and baby, that's the fun of you, and then I press the C, and I promise that nobody's gonna love you like me, and then the verse, number 2, is the same exact way as the first verse. Doing the pre-chorus the same way, with that palm mute kind of slap. One of these things is not like the other, like a rainbow with, but different words there. Even in winter, I am your summer. So again, the first verse and the first chorus are essentially the same as the second verse and the second chorus. So that just cuts it all out for you. There's no, key changes or difficult things that happen. It's honestly very straightforward, keeping with these chords throughout the whole song. But just, at certain points muting, at certain points stopping until you get right back into it. So going into the bridge, we go from that second chorus. Baby, that's the fun of you, and I promise that nobody's gonna love you like me. Hey kids, spelling is fun. We You're doing the same kind of situation here, muting all of the strings and just strumming them with no chord, nothing. I just kind of leave my fingers just kind of wherever they feel comfortable for you, if they're lower or up here. So after that second chorus, like I said, let me play it, I'll show you. So let me go from the Hey Kids. Hey kids, spelling is fun. Girl, there ain't no I-N-T, but you know there is a me. So what I did was I used the same strumming pattern here, but I sort of combined that mute sort of slap vibe with a little bit of the, you know, keeping the chords in here. But you know, I even feel like my body changes when I do this kind of stuff where you're like crouching down. And then I get a little bigger here. I do go up the octave. And nothing, no, there is a me. Can't spell awesome without me. I promise that you'll never find another like me. It's so bouncy and fun and repetitive. And I mean that in the sweetest, most loving way possible. So when you reach that final chorus at the end, you can just take some liberties, have a little bit more fun, add some variations to the he-he-he's and the hoo-hoo-hoos. And that is essentially the song, kids. I really hope that you guys enjoyed that you learned the song, that you feel like you've got a solid understanding of it, that I'm an okay teacher. I don't read music. I am completely self-taught, so I learn and teach in a very informal way, but I really do feel like that's where you find the emotion of a song a lot of times, and the flow of a song, if that makes sense. Feel free to reference back to my actual cover of this, which I can link right below. It will probably link itself in related videos, but I'll still put it down below just in case, just so that you could play along to that video knowing what you know now through this tutorial. Again, I hope that you enjoy this. I hope that you found it helpful, that you learned a little something new today. Happy ukulele playing. Happy TS Era 7. And I will see you in the next video, whenever that may be. I really do have some very exciting things coming up, so stay tuned on this channel. Follow me on Instagram. It's at Mackenzie Music. All of my other social media links will be down below as always. But have a lovely day. Bye, guys.